The mysterious disappearance of the Jamison family. On a crisp October morning in 2009, the Jamison family embarked on a journey that would soon turn into one of the most perplexing mysteries in the annals of missing persons cases. Bobby Jamison, his wife Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madyson set out from their Eufaula, Oklahoma home, nestled in the heart of the American Midwest. Their destination was a remote area in the San Blas Mountains, a region known for its rugged terrain and isolation. Bobby, a quiet and hard-working man in his early 40s, had grown up in the region, and he often sought solace in the mountains. Sherilyn, a devoted mother in her late 30s, shared her husband's love for the outdoors. It was, by all appearances, a family outing, an opportunity to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life and to immerse themselves in the serene beauty of the wilderness. As they loaded their pickup truck with supplies for their adventure, little did they know that this would be the last time anyone would see them alive. The San Blas Mountains, an extension of the Ouachita Mountains, are known for their dense forests, rugged terrain, and isolation. For the Jamison family, this excursion was part of their ongoing quest to find peace and perhaps some answers. Their lives had been marred by a series of inexplicable and unsettling events in the years leading up to their disappearance. Neighbors and friends would later recall that the family had been plagued by a sense of unease, a feeling that they were being watched, that some malevolent force was lurking at the edges of their lives. Sherilyn, in particular, confided in friends about strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, the sense of an ominous presence, and disturbing dreams that left her shaken. Despite these unsettling experiences, the Jamisons were not the type to seek out supernatural explanations or attention. They were a private and reserved family, often keeping to themselves. But as the disturbances in their lives continued, they decided to document their experiences through a series of handwritten letters, diaries, and photographs. These records would later provide a haunting glimpse into the family's inner turmoil and paranoia. It had been reported as well that the Jamisons, on separate occasions, confided in their local pastor, Gary Brandon, about witnessing apparitions within their home. Additionally, there were accounts that Bobby had claimed to have been reading from the Satanic Bible. The morning they set out, they packed their truck with camping gear, clothing, and a large sum of money, $32,000 in cash, wrapped in a bank bag. The reasons for carrying such a substantial amount of money remain a subject of speculation. Some believe it was intended for a land purchase, while others suggest it may have been connected to an undisclosed deal or motive related to their disappearance. As they drove deeper into the San Blas Mountains, the tranquility of nature surrounded them. For a family seeking respite from their troubles, this remote haven must have seemed like the perfect escape. Yet, as the days passed and the Jamisons failed to return home, concern began to mount among their loved ones. The discovery of the Jamison family's abandoned pickup truck deep in the heart of the San Blas Mountains sent shockwaves through the small Oklahoma community. Family and friends anxiously awaited their return, while law enforcement officials and search teams scrambled to piece together the puzzle of their disappearance. The first clue that something was amiss was the locked truck itself. Parked on a remote dirt road, it appeared as though the family had left in haste. Inside, their cherished pet dog, Maisie, had been left behind without food or water, her lonely whimpers echoing through the stillness of the forest. The eerie details didn't end there. Also tucked inside the truck were personal belongings, wallets, IDs, purses, and the family's cell phones. It was as if they had stepped out of the vehicle, leaving behind their most essential possessions. But where had they gone, and why? As investigators combed through the truck, they stumbled upon a handwritten note, adding another layer of intrigue to the case. The note was cryptic, its message indecipherable. It contained phrases like, "This boy has the capability to see the spirits," and "3 cats killed to date. By more hunting knives." The contents of this note seemed unrelated to the family's disappearance, leaving investigators baffled. Could it be the ramblings of a disturbed mind, a sinister message meant to mislead, or an indication of the family's deteriorating mental state? Family and friends, upon learning of the note, began to share disturbing insights into the Jamisons' lives in the months leading up to their vanishing act. Sherilyn had confided in her close circle about strange occurrences, an unsettling sense of being watched, objects moving on their own, and an inexplicable feeling of dread. Their friends had been concerned for their well-being and the well-being of little Madyson. As the search continued, additional clues emerged from the Jamisons' abandoned truck. Maps and directions hinted at their intended destination, though it was a remote spot in the mountains with no clear purpose. Food and water supplies were found untouched, suggesting that they had not planned to be away for long. In the absence of definitive leads, investigators and search teams were left with a haunting mystery. The rural expanse of the San Blas Mountains offered numerous hiding places, and the terrain itself was unforgiving, making the search efforts all the more challenging. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the Jamison family's enigmatic disappearance continued to perplex and trouble all who were drawn into the unfolding drama. The community held its breath, awaiting the next turn in a puzzle that seemed to grow more complex with each passing day. What secrets had the Jamisons taken with them into the heart of the wilderness, and would those secrets ever be revealed? In their quest for answers, investigators delved into the family's history, searching for any clues that might shed light on their mysterious disappearance. Family and friends were interviewed, their accounts offering insights into the turmoil that had marked the Jamisons' lives in the months leading up to their vanishing act. As the search extended into a second year, hope began to wane, and theories about the family's fate multiplied. Some believed that they had perished in the unforgiving wilderness, while others speculated that they might have intentionally vanished to escape real or imagined threats. The enigmatic note found in their abandoned truck fueled speculations about the family's mental state and motivations. In 2013, more than 4 years after the Jamison family had vanished, 2 hunters made a grim discovery. Skeletal remains, scattered among the trees and underbrush, were found in a remote section of Latimer County, Oklahoma, less than 3 miles from where the family's truck had been abandoned. The news sent shockwaves through the community and reignited hope that the mystery might finally be solved. The remains consisted of 2 adults and 1 child, leading many to presume that they belonged to Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madyson Jamison. Yet, confirming their identities and uncovering the circumstances of their deaths would prove to be a daunting task. The Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office embarked on a rigorous process of anthropological and forensic pathological testing to establish the identities of the skeletal remains. The advanced state of decomposition posed significant challenges, but determination and expertise prevailed. It wasn't until July 3, 2014, that officials confirmed what many had feared. The skeletal remains did indeed belong to Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madyson Jamison. However, this revelation provided little solace, for it raised more questions than it answered. A definitive cause of death remained elusive due to the advanced state of decomposition. The circumstances surrounding their demise and the reasons that had led them to the remote spot in the mountains continued to baffle investigators. The discovery of the family's remains brought a somber sense of closure for their loved ones who had spent years searching for answers. Yet, the overriding feeling was one of profound loss and a lingering sense of incompleteness. As investigators and amateur sleuths combed through the myriad of theories, they found themselves confronting a daunting task. The story of the Jamison family's disappearance had grown into a complex web of possibilities, each thread leading to more questions than answers. One recurring theory revolved around the family's declining mental state. The friends and acquaintances who had heard Sherilyn's accounts of eerie occurrences and unsettling dreams wondered if the family's mental health had unraveled in the isolation of the mountains. Had they embarked on a perilous journey driven by paranoia, hallucinations, or delusions? Another theory suggested that the Jamisons had voluntarily disappeared, seeking to escape real or imagined threats in their lives. The presence of $32,000 in cash in their abandoned truck added an element of mystery. What had prompted them to carry such a substantial sum? Did it hold a clue to their intentions? The enigma of the Jamison family's disappearance extended beyond the family itself. It cast a shadow over the San Bois Mountains, transforming the serene wilderness into a place of lingering unease. Residents of the region spoke in hushed tones about the family who had vanished, their voices tinged with uncertainty and superstition. Years passed, and the case gradually faded from the headlines, but it never truly receded from the collective memory. It became a story whispered around campfires and discussed in online forums, a mystery that refused to yield its secrets. And with that, we have come to the end of our video. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. This has been saying, see you next time.